Hey, looks like we're on. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our very first Kababayan Corner show. This is in collaboration with SoCal Filipinos and Southern California's Filipino Sari Sari Store Facebook groups. So my name is John Eric, co-founder of SoCal Filipinos, along with Josevi of Southern California's Sari Sari Store Facebook group, and the very talented Abby Ronquillo of Net Realty. Um, Once again, this is our very first show, kind of like a beta show, testing show. So we appreciate uh, the audience for tuning in. If you see it on Facebook or YouTube or all the other platforms that we are streaming to, this episode is pretty much an origin story of the SoCal Filipinos and the Southern California Sari Sari Store Facebook group, and a little bit of background on each one of us who will be hosting the show. So once again, I want to introduce Abby Ronquillo and Josephine. How are you
Hi,
guys?
hi, John. Hi, Abby. Thank you for having us in this show today. It's an honor and it's a privilege to be in the show to help our kababayans get to know more about information and education. And Abby will. Hi, Abby. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys today?
Good, good. How's everyone's New Year so far? We're like 6 days in the year.
Super busy. I'm still catching up with work from Christmas. So I put off a lot of things and then I'm just catching up this week. So I didn't even know what day it was. That's why I thought our first show was supposed to be on Tuesday. I was so lost. So yeah, so that's how things are. How are things with you guys?
Um, for me, with the typhoon in the Philippines, I've been busy watching. Watching, helping our kababayans back home, and it felt like it was a busy December, and I kind of um give them my priority during the holiday season and help out as much as I can. But other than that, a lot of family time for sure, and looking
That's
more
good.
forward to do the same thing. And how about you, John?
Actually, my wife have and I have been nesting, so kind of like moving stuff around because we're expecting a baby girl by the end of this month.
Oh my
This is
gosh, how
actually
exciting.
my son's room, so we're like organizing this one. Yeah,
So
bit
is that
exciting.
it? Is that
Uh,
it after your baby girl? Are you guys done?
yeah, we're done. Well, I don't know. Not unless we need more child tax credit, then maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
So,
Uh,
so let's discuss the origins of how, I guess, of SoCal Filipinos. So, Eric, can you tell us a little bit about how SoCal Filipinos came about?
Sorry. So, SoCal Filipinos came about around the middle of the pandemic, and like the Black Lives movement around like June of 2020. So Jason Lastina is the founder of SoCal Filipinos. Shout out to Jason.
Hey,
Um,
Jason.
so we met through different Facebook groups, and then we were chatting. That Jason said, you know what, times are kind of tough, and everyone's kind of faced with like this new environment that we're in. And then we were kind of going back and forth, and then he's like, you know what, maybe we should create a positive place for Filipinos to connect. And then I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And then he goes, okay, I'm gonna create a Facebook group, and you're gonna be the co-founder. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't really think too much of it at that time. I just thought like, okay, it's just just a Facebook group where people would just post memes and stuff. But
Uh
then
huh.
we kind of talked more about what was the purpose of the group, and then we were like, you know what, the main purpose of the group is really to connect the Filipinos, and we're going through a lot of changes in terms of like economically, pretty much socially with all the well, with the pandemic. And then it's like, why don't we have like create this place, a safe place for people to connect and interact, and then from there on, like having that as our core, as the community, as the core, the group just started growing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we were just
exponentially.
exponentially. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're at what now? We're at 38,
almost 40,000, right?
almost 40,000, and you guys were like one of our very first members too. And yeah, it just went so fast that people were actually reached out to us. It's like, hey, we should monetize your group. But then Jason and I kind of talked to each other. We're like, that's kind of like not the direction that we want to go to. The
Hmm.
direction that we want to go to is we really want to serve the community. So on June of this year, I'm sorry, last year, oh my God, I'm sorry, January of last year, 2020, we actually formed SoCal Filipinos into a not-for-profit organization. So we're gonna host events, and our goal is to be able to grant scholarships to the Filipinos in Southern California, as well as highlight businesses, and yeah, and pretty much just connect everyone, and give a safe space for everyone to connect.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's great that you guys are doing something like that because typically, when Facebook groups are created, they're created for some kind of underlying reason, right? There's like a hidden agenda. Sometimes it's to get clients or get customers. But it's great that you guys are doing it altruistically and it's a nonprofit org. So I really commend you guys for creating a platform. Like for me, what I love about the group is that I can kind of escape. Like when I'm having a bad day, I go into the group and there's something funny in there. Like Danny Vallejos or Mario Cruz, they post something in there. Like I look forward to their posts. They're pretty hilarious. So um, that's what I love about the group.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Abby. I think So-Called Filipinos is an amazing group because you're able to also like ask questions if you need a professional, for example, if you need interior designer or if you need a question about culture, because a lot of posts is about our Filipino culture, and especially the funny ones. So most of them, I mean, I actually see John's posts, and I always ask him like, where do you get all these questions that cause
I
a
know,
lot of
right?
interactions? So I'm like, for me, I tell him like, oh, that's a gift. I mean, for me, you could just sit down right there and think of a meme or whatnot. I'm like, I can't. But John's like every day almost he has something to post, so which is good. It's good.
Well, my inspiration for those is actually just looking around the house. You know, I look around my house. Okay, what makes my house Filipino? Or when I go to work, what makes me Filipino? So that's like pretty much my inspiration to
I
all
love
these
those,
all
like
those
the Last
posts.
Supper, the Last Supper
Yeah,
in your kitchen.
exactly. Like my or like what I just posted just about an hour ago. Okay, what if you were gonna impress another person, what Filipino dish would you cook, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's also kind of gives interaction. So every time you
Yes.
post, the people that could relate to your post will respond and connect, and kind of like make you realize that even though you are by yourself in a in America or in California, you also have fellow kababayans that also are in the same situation or same place that they could really, oh yeah, I feel the same way. So you can connect with them through your post or interaction. So that's cool.
Yep.
Thank you for that, and thank you for Jason. We do hope and um, you guys continue to do our best to keep the group grow. Do you have any like in your mind any vision like towards the future? Like what's the you think the so-called Filipinos goals for present, future, the near future, and the long term wise? How do you see so-called Filipinos maybe in a year and versus 5 years from now?
Oh, what I see us doing is helping students by offering scholarships. I'm hoping that we also get involved with pretty much educating people about the Filipino-American history, specifically in Southern California. We have a project that we're trying to get it off the ground, but it's pretty much pretty much a history project for the Filipinos here in Southern California. How it started. So we're still trying to curate that one together, and there's a lot of logistics for us to work on. But I'm hoping like that'll be like a really good goal for us in the future to get that one rolling. Because each one of
Awesome.
us, collectively together, we have a story, right?
Yeah, you mentioned that you became nonprofit, and as a nonprofit, I think you mentioned personally about what you guys are passionate about. Can you talk to you more about your, if you do get funds, where do funds go through, or where do you dedicate it to?
So pretty much what we want to do is dedicate funds in pretty much like what I mentioned a couple times already is to granting scholarships and helping funds in terms of helping pretty much direct funds to like education, pretty much creating content that's really educational and learning more about ourselves.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean that's amazing because I know you guys also want to sponsor a scholar,
Yeah, so
and
that's our goal.
that's amazing.
Yep. And also, I just want to see, I know that we have a few viewers watching. So, what do you guys like about SoCal Filipinos? And where are you guys watching from?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
one
so
of them
please
is
comment.
Mick. Hi, Mick Diaz. I think Mick Diaz is watching. Thank you for watching us.
Yeah, I
And
see
someone just
EJ.
replied
Thank you for watching.
Yeah,
And
from
then
San
thank you for
Diego.
watching. San
someone
Diego.
also
Wow.
said Last Supper is the dining area and rice dispensers.
Yeah. Okay. And then since this show pretty much it's in collaboration with California's Southern California Sari Sari Store Facebook group, Josevi, could you please tell us your origin story? How that Facebook group started and came about?
Regarding Southern California group, Sari Sari group, it's actually best to ask our founder Karen. However, in her behalf, to my recollection, the Sari Sari group started. It's probably best not to say. Um, Out of courtesy, there's one incident that happened that triggered a domino effect. So based on that incident, our founder Karen created a group that allows anybody from the Philippines that has connection with SoCal in Southern California to be able to have an opportunity to connect with Filipinos here in Southern California. So that was pretty much the origin. And besides that, I think the main point of creating Southern California Filipino group was help during the pandemic. It was started around October. It was kind of like a lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people lost their lives. Then the
Yeah.
group serves as a network. Like, you know what, this is something that you could connect with other kababayans that's going through the same thing. And when I came into the picture, I actually volunteered to Karen A. If there's something I could help, I'm down to do so because I know how it's feel like to have no job. And luckily, I still have a stable job during the time. But if I have an opportunity and an extra time to be able to help other our kababayans who lost their job and give them an opportunity to get extra income to provide food in the table, that was my main goal to join or be part of Soko Sari administration team. So shout out to Karen Serrano for creating the group with Miss Maria Co, who's also our realtor, and my admins, co-admins, Mr. Fernando Diaz, Nika Navarro.
Oh, Josevi just got cut off there. Okay, and Sari Sari store actually had a few successful in-person events.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think
true. They do a lot of those caravans, right?
they did quite a few of the caravans, and from looking at the post from the caravans, they actually had like a really good turnout in terms of vendors and great turnout of also the customers. So it's not just I felt like they have a really good pool in terms of pretty much gathering individuals and businesses and customers together, and
And I also
they
think it's
provided.
great that they created a platform where they're able to advertise their businesses, whereas in other in other groups they're not able to do that. So shout out to Karen and Giuseppe, wherever
Yeah.
Giuseppe is.
Yeah, and and it's been a very good marketplace. And it's not just that, they've also done some like kind of like a bayanihan, bayanihan projects. And I felt like, I mean, not I felt like, but from looking at it and talking to the individuals, it's been pretty successful with what they're doing. And
So that takes us to why we decided to create Kababayan Corner, right? Because
mhm.
SoCal Filipinos, in collaboration with Sari Sari Store, uh, we wanted a platform for small businesses, and we wanted to be able to highlight, your side hustle or your small business on a weekly basis, so that everyone in the group can know what you're about and what your business is about. And also, we wanted to do business tips, give you guys business tips. For me, I'm actually a business owner. I own Net Realty. I even created an app. So if there's anyone out there interested in creating an app, let me know. I'd be glad to help you. But everyone that started a business has struggled somehow. It's not easy
Yeah.
starting a business. Like, it's easier to get a W-2 and work for someone rather than being your own boss and having to pay all these taxes and having to go through so much paperwork, like creating an LLC and doing things like that. So we wanted to be an informational resource for kababayans in Southern California who are part of the group. We wanted to also encourage you to follow Sari Sari Store, because Sari Sari Store is really the small business branch
We
of
wanted to
SoCal
also encourage you
Filipinos.
to.
Oh,
Welcome back.
hey, welcome back. We thought we lost you. Okay, but yeah, and thank you for that, Abby. Actually, you kind of mentioned about your background. Could you please? Actually, you have a pretty fascinating story. Could you elaborate
Really?
on? I think so, because I've seen one of your interviews and I was like, oh wow, she really has a story to tell, and I feel like a lot of people could learn something from what you've gone through. So I guess
Well,
just kind of like cliff notes,
I
or
do.
or
I do.
you could go full
Um,
novel too. That's okay.
I do struggle with talking about myself a little bit. I'd rather highlight other people. But okay, so I was born in the Philippines. I can speak Tagalog, but it's like konti lang. So I can speak Tagalog. I came here when I was 6 years old, and I was TNT when I came here, and I used to work for Aling Neri's restaurant when I was 6 years old. So me and my mom came here by ourselves. We had to leave my dad, my and the rest of my family behind, and um, it was hard being TNT. And eventually, I wanted to write about that. So when I went to UCLA, I was able to do research on undocumented immigrants, like how I was. And, the Labor Department ended up publishing my research piece. So I have the book. I carry the book with me everywhere. So I have it here. I have it in my office. So it's
Yeah,
here. It's called Undocumented and Unafraid. I wrote like one of the chapters in this book.
and that's
So,
that's the book that someone was trying to buy off of us
oh yeah,
during one of
someone was
the
trying to buy
Filipino
it.
American History Month event.
Yeah, that was such a fun event too. We got to network with a lot of people. But so I ended up starting. I wanted to create something sustainable. Like when I started out as an agent, I saw that real estate had a lot of waste. They always printed paper, and every transaction had hundreds of pages of paper. They drive around with gas guzzlers. So I wanted to create something sustainable. So that's where Net Realty came about. I created an app to make sure everyone can be paperless. It's not easy creating an app, okay? Like owning a business is no joke, and creating an app, it's over six figures. The cost is over six figures, just depending on how in depth or how robust your MVP will be when you create an app. So I created that app. My husband also works for a sustainable auto manufacturer, Rivian. So we're really into sustainability and sustainable home practices like cooking at home, composting, gardening, growing your own food, and that's something that I wanted other people, like I wanted a lot of my clients, like my buyers, I always end up getting them a house that has solar panels, and eventually they end up getting a Tesla. so so I don't know, it makes me happy that they're not polluting the air with gas guzzlers. But I know there's a lot of people out there that drive V8s, Corvettes, sorry, I'm just into electric vehicles and clean energy. So I know I'm gonna get like some hate messages, but I mean, I love Lamborghinis and McLarens, but if they were electric, I think they'd be better and they'd be faster. But anyway, so that's my story. I'm here in my office at Net Realty in Corona, and I hate talking about myself. But okay, so
No,
how about
that's
you
okay.
guys?
Oh, I was gonna expand on your business, but you did expand on it. But and then like what you said, like I'm glad that you are actually opened up a brick and mortar, and I'm hoping that it'll also inspire others to like think beyond what they have and to, like pretty much do what you do,
Oh
what you
yeah,
did.
there's a lot of people out there like there's Steven Sauler. He has a seafood company and he runs everything from home, and he has social media, right? Like I want to bring him on the show one time because his food looks really good, and he has this Instagram page. But he's been wanting to have a brick and mortar. Brick and mortar is it's not cheap. Like I
No, it's
had to
not.
hire an architect, an interior designer, and a general contractor. So just having this, it's pretty simple. You can expect to spend over 75,000. I went over 100,000, and it's self funded. Everything is
Yeah.
self funded from all my sales in real estate.
Yeah, I've been
So,
to your office. It's actually amazing. And
oh,
then
thank
I know you
you.
let me use it as a day office. And actually one of the clients that I took is actually a member that that I met at your office is Johanna, and she said your office is her office goals. Like I was like, I know, it's like such an amazing place to be in and to
Yeah,
work.
like sometimes I feel like I take it for granted because my favorite thing to do is be at home with my kids cooking.
Oh
So
yeah.
as much as I can, I try to be at home, and I just let the agents stay in the office. And if they're working on paperwork or something, they're more than welcome to stay in the office. But for me, I prefer driving around with my clients or meeting with my clients and being at home. I mostly go to the office to do podcasts and to do paperwork, but yeah,
And
because.
And also, I'd like to thank you for your generosity because the thing is, you didn't just open your office to me, but you opened your office to several members to utilize your office. That's very generous of you, and I just want to say thank you for that one. And I'm hoping that everyone sees how what kind of generous person you are.
Oh, thank you. I mean, Giuseppe, even if I know we're not in the same brokerage, even if you want to work here, you can do work in our office if you're in Corona. I have a
Yeah,
lockbox, so I just give people the code, and they can just come in and work.
thank you, Abby. Looking forward to it. So, wow. Abby, tell us more about how you manage being a mom and being the CEO. I always wonder how you could do that
You're
amazing
right.
task.
That is
Being
pretty
a mom,
big
and
question.
a lot of it is from my husband. We're so thankful he's able to work from home. He works from home, and we take turns, like doing bath time and then the morning time, and we're able to walk them to school every day. Like that's just our thing. Like we should walk them. We should be the ones walking them to school together. Because my daughters, they just love having a family, and but honestly, it's hard. It's not easy. Like I'm working a lot, and a lot of times I'm not engaged or I'm not present. So that's something that I really need to improve on. Like I'm on my phone all the time, and when I ask my daughters, so is mommy on the phone a lot? They're like yes all the time, like you're on your phone. So that's just something, a lot of us moms deal with that, even the ones that don't own their own business. Like there's a lot of things that you do pretty much everything on your phone. So I try to bond with them through cooking, and just lately I haven't been able to cook. I'm still trying to catch up with all my work, but yeah. So enough about me. How about you guys? So Giuseppe, you're you are Giuseppe.
Actually, we're gonna talk about John first because I'm interested about how John
I'm
is able to be
okay.
able to manage all the time for so-called Filipinos. and I think he also is a very successful CPA, and also another work outside of that. So I'll let him introduce himself.
Well, okay, I guess my origin story was I was bitten by a spider. No, I'm just kidding. That's a wrong origin story. But yeah, pretty much my we immigrated to the United States when I was like 8 years old. Pretty much in the San Fernando Valley, and I've been in the San Fernando Valley ever since. And I went to a Catholic school, Saint Jen, which is like all pretty much it's like what 95% Filipino. So I grew up with a lot of Filipinos, and even though at that school only a few people like speaks Filipino. I never lost like talking Tagalog because I ended up having one classmate that speaks Tagalog and then another one, actually two of them, that speaks
Mhm.
Tagalog, and then we would always talk to each other in Tagalog at school. And yeah, we get made fun of back then, but then now it's cool, right?
So
So
you're
much
fluent
different environment.
then.
Yeah, I'm fluent, very fluent. Because also growing up, my parents had a Filipino video store, so pretty much I've watched pretty much almost every single movie
Oh,
Filipino
that's
movie back
cool.
in the 90s. So yeah. And then yeah, and then after that, I didn't go to college right away. I went to college in my late 20s. I went to Cal State Northridge. I loved it. Majored in
Season.
accounting. Yeah, CSUN, Matadors. So while going to yeah, pretty much I was working full time, and I'm like taking 18, 20 something units a semester.
I did the same thing too,
Yeah,
working full time and
and going to school, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
and what made it easy for me was not easy, but what made me able to do it was I was working in accounting, and I'm also majoring in accounting. So every time there's like problems and stuff that we approach, I just go, okay, how do we do this at work? Like in my head, so when I'm taking the exam, okay, how do I do this at work? I think it looks like this, and then yeah, and then I felt like my experience first in accounting helped me in pretty much majoring in accounting, and then taking the CPA exam and becoming a CPA. Yeah, and working for like different industries, and right now yeah, I work for a healthcare industry, and at the same time, I also have tax practice that I've had, which is about 6 years now. Gonna be 6 years.
So if anyone out there has any accounting questions or actually tax questions,
Tax
then
questions. Yeah,
John Eric is the main go-to guy. Like
yeah,
I always refer my clients to him because especially when you're buying real estate, you know, you buy real estate for tax incentives. So he's the guy if in case you have any questions on what you can write off and what you can't.
yeah.
I
Or if you have
agree.
any small businesses or stuff like that to that nature, yes. So yeah, and thank you, and yeah, and I feel like and I'm just doing it to pretty much help help our kababayans pretty much with their accounting, and because there's a lot of misinformation there, and so I usually give them like the right information. Oh, that's how it should be. I was like, yes, kind of, and explain stuff in layman's terms and make it not confusing for everyone. So that's how I like to do my accounting and my taxes and help my clients.
So I have a question. So if I get eyelashes and then you know eyelash extensions and then I use it for the show, can I write that off?
For your business,
Yes.
it sounds
They're Net
like
Realty LLC.
yeah, it sounds like maintenance. Right? So it could be maintenance. That's why a lot of YouTubers, I have a client that's a YouTuber.
Hmm.
He's able to write off a lot of stuff, on his content. Because the thing is, they need whatever they need to, to have the show, to have that episode. So if it's need to be, if it's the keyword the IRS uses is ordinary and necessary. So if
Yeah, I
it's
wouldn't
ordinary and
really
necessary,
want it.
then
If
it would be, then you could deduct it. But that's a funny
like
question.
okay. Yeah, no, I've always been curious about that.
So next week, John, let's do some eyelashes.
Take the
I think you
lead.
guys would look great.
Yeah, and actually, there's a question here I'm looking at. It says a lot of vendors uses this for their business transactions and PayPal as well, Venmo, Zelle, Cash App. So yes, there is a new IRS rule about that, and I think we're better off like having like a full episode on that to really explain, what's going on,
Oh yeah,
because
next week.
yeah, or
Why
next
don't we
week,
do
because
that
what
next week?
happened is these third party businesses or organizations that's processing the payment will be issuing everyone like a 1099K if it goes over like $600 and over, so everyone's going to be getting that. So then you want to make sure that you keep track of all your records, so that you know what's personal and what's business. But then we could elaborate more on like on an episode. And yeah, and I guess yeah. So, but that's a good question. So that's a good question. It's also a good topic to have. Yes, it will be a great knowledge for everyone. And
Yes, I think
actually,
next week we'll probably talk more about tax because it
yeah,
seems
we
like
should.
I'm every time I look down, I'm actually looking at the comments, so I don't mean to
Yeah,
be disrespectful, but I saw that a lot of people is asking about tax, so it's a good topic in terms of our the show Kababayan Corner, and
yes.
we're just blessed that we have John here as a CPA and a good
Yeah,
resource.
it can take 2 episodes because I remember when you were on our show. Yeah, it took 2 episodes to talk about taxes related to real estate. So can you imagine talking about taxes related to businesses or what you can write off? Like
Yeah, yeah.
that
So
can
yeah,
take hours.
it is a pretty good long topic too. But this one, I know I don't want to bore everyone, but I'll just give everyone the cliff notes, and then if they want more information, it's helpful if they sit down with their accountant or with their CPAs, or they could reach out to me because each situation is different. So then we'll go
That's
on from
true.
there.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. What about you, Giuseppe? Because I know that you are also pretty much kind of like an entrepreneur, being going through like real estate. Give us a little bit of background about yourself.
Dang, after hearing all of your background, I don't think I deserve to be in this panel. So
Oh
if you
my.
don't see me next week, there's a reason why, especially after the blooper earlier.
No.
But like Abby, I'm not really used to talk about myself. I rather actually talk about others and ask. I'm rather a listener, a doer, rather than talk about myself. But if I have an if one word perhaps that would talk to me, I mean talk more about myself, will be the word super grateful. First, first and foremost, super grateful for our God Almighty Father, just for not all just the blessings, but just pretty much giving us another day. On
Yes.
that
Yeah.
note, I'm just gonna. I know I'm supposed to be talking about myself, but since the spotlight is on me, I just wanna do another shout out. Besides our Almighty Father God, I want to shout out my wife for watching the kids right now, so I'm able to do the show. And also, I want to shout out the amazing, hardworking frontliners. With the COVID rising,
Yeah,
I
census has been
know,
increasing.
yeah, and my heart is with you. I must, as Mr. John Babalan mentioned, I'm also a registered nurse, and and since we're on that topic, I'm a registered nurse since 2006. Started in the emergency room. ER is actually where my heart is. If my ICU co-workers are watching, I love ICU too. Um, but the person that I am, I kind of like look for action. We also get actions in the ICU, but it's different kind of action. But anyhow, um, if you are a nurse, um, please comment that which unit you're working, because I know even ER, ICU, or med search, whichever unit you are, I just want to say thank you. I know it's right now it's not the. I mean, the past few weeks is not the easiest, so I want to thank you personally after the show, and a little bit of origin in terms of my background includes what you call this. I was migrated in from the Philippines 2002, and the origin was that sorry, it's my first time this year doing a live show, so I'm gonna have a lot of aunts. Um, uh, so um, so when we moved in 2002, it's pretty much me and my brothers and my mom. We lost my dad at the age of 9, and so one single mom and five brothers, five sons, trying to
Oh my
make it
gosh.
and here in California. And I tried my best to actually, when you come here, when you're new, we're very blessed that we have relatives helping us out, but you don't want to be a burden, so you want to look for work and also contribute to the family. So so that's why when I said I know how it feels to have not a job, like last year, a lot of people lost their job. I too did not have a job. I too did not have an income. I've been through like eating once a day, just one happy meal a day. So I know how it feels to have nothing. So that's probably
Mm.
explains why you see me like help other people, help other different communities, because I know how it feels. So on that note, me and my brother, his name is Johnny, kind of have this discussion since I can't get work. He did as he was washing dishes for a restaurant. So shout out for the hardworking people in the restaurants. He said, "All right, I'll work, then you go to school." So that saying, to all my Filipino nurses watching, when your mom told you to be a nurse when you grow up, then that's me too. So um, I know some Filipino nurses really wanted to be a nurse since they were young. Salute to you. But for me, it's kind of one of those my other half of Filipino nurses that, hey, you could be a nurse first and you could do whatever you want after. So I would say nursing is my calling, but helping others is my passion. So when I became a nurse as an emergency room for since 2006, as I mentioned, it's kind of like one thing after I led to the other, and it's actually how I met my wife through the emergency room. Then since we can't work to each other, then I have to move to other hospitals, so on and so forth. Fast forward to how I became a realtor is a different story. I was working in the ICU and other and outside conversations as well, where during the pandemic hit, they were frustrated that they were told by one realtor that, hey, this market is a seller's market. You have to pay 100,000 over asking at times, or even more. And another realtor told them that, hey, this it's not a time for you to buy a home yet, because I don't think you will be successful. So that's one frustration, and something similar to another client. I mean, not client, they were not. I was not a realtor back then, but I saw their frustrations. Then, what kind of led me or to seal a deal to become a realtor is when a very very close friend of mine got diagnosed with something really bad, and he told me like, hey, if I make it through, I want you the only thing I wanted to do after will be to get a home, because he's certain age, and he said, you know what, that's my dream, to have a home to myself. So
Oh
that
my
kind of like
gosh.
made
Wow.
me Google like how to become a realtor really quickly. Then uh, it says there that you have to take a class for 3 months, pass the test, and become a realtor. I was like, all right, give it a shot. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Then fast forward 3 months after, I did pass the test, and those friends that or coworkers that said that they were having a hard time buying a home, I actually was able to help them get a home, including the my friend that was who with God's mercy and um, blessing, he was able to fight and survive, and now before Christmas last year, we're able to get a home. So for me as a realtor, for me, I'm actually mission accomplished. I've done what I meant to do, but it seems like besides my other friends, there are actually a lot of other coworkers, friends, clients that also need my help. So instead of closing those doors, I am, as long as my wife will allow me, I'm willing to help more clients as much as possible. Full disclosure, besides me and Abby in so-called Filipinos, there's a lot of amazing realtors. So I could mention each one of them. There's Francis de Castro, my Bayanihan realtors, Mr. Don Loron, Pogi Pier, and even in Vegas, Kian. So we're doing the show more of helping others and more informative, not for self-promotion, but if ever you need a realtor in your specific area, we could refer you to someone close by. So we here in so-called Filipinos, or Sari Sari, we are open doors. Even in Sari Sari group, we have two realtors as an admin. So we help each other out. We rather collaborate than be be the number one or whatever. How many sales we get? That's not what we do. we became who we are just to help. Main focus is to help others. Um, so that's pretty much my origin, how I become a realtor. And we could transition back to you, John, in terms of topics for next week, for our next show.
Yeah. Before we go on with the topics, I see like there's like a couple questions on the chat, and one of them it says like I met John way back in Panorama City, which is Jay Aquino. I did meet him way back. I think we were just still kids. So my parent, like I mentioned earlier, my parents had a video store, and Jay's dad rented in our video store, and that's how I met him. And then he has a question. It says, if there is one word to describe what you all want for 2022, what would that be? In terms of for SoCal Filipinos, I know Jason and I, what we want is to be able to grant a scholarship to be able to get our like SoCal Filipino history project off the ground, and at the same time host events and connect more Filipinos, Southern California, Filipinos together, and more interactions and like live events. As a matter of fact, like a couple of the live events that we're gonna have coming up is the yeah, there's a lot of plans. Jason even commented, but end of this month,
Flippers.
yeah, the USC. There's a Filipino-American Heritage game for USC in January of 29, January 29. So end of this month. And then we also have the Clippers, which is I felt like that was pretty big. It's like, Jason, how are you doing this? But
That's true.
yeah. So then Jason got us a pretty much to become partners with or co-host for the Clippers Filipino American Heritage Night. That's on March 29th. So looking forward to that. But then in terms of like myself, what I want, let's say, what would that be? For 2022, for me, it's just continue being a dad. That's like what I love the most. It's just being a dad. But if people ask me what I do, I
Aw.
just tell them I'm a dad. So yeah, shout out to my son Lucas, my wife Cheryl. I love you, and our future baby. So which will be arriving in like a couple weeks.
How
Okay.
exciting.
Yeah. What about you guys in terms of
How
like
about you,
answering
Abby?
answering Jay's
For
question?
me, for 2022, I would like to be more present for my daughters. I'd like to have more time with them and more work-life balance, and maybe eventually hire an assistant, because I feel like I'm being spread a little bit too thin right now. Uh, I'm always like my mind is starting to get all scrambled. So I'd like to have more time with my kids and my family for 2022, because you really can't get that time back. Um, like my whole purpose of working is so that we can enjoy vacations, like go on Disney cruises and explore the world with our kids and not wait until we're retired. So I just want to have more time with my family and maybe just delegate a little bit more in my business, because right now I'm too hands on and I just need to learn how to be a better delegator. So, how about you, Giuseppe?
All right. So thanks, Abby. And I do hope that both of you will be able to achieve all your 2022 goals. And I'm pretty sure you will be, knowing the characters that you guys are both have. For for 2022, I think for Sorry Sorry Group, we are blessed that so-called Filipinos made us to be their business affiliate. We thought we are also mission accomplished, that our job's done, since majority of our peers or kababayans already back to work. However, John and Jason have this a vision that we could do potentially more. So this is
Oh,
the
yeah.
outcome
Yeah.
of it. So for vision wise, we wanna continue helping a lot of our kababayans, be to shine and excel. I know a lot of um, small businesses, entrepreneurs, or vendors that had a hard time in 2020 when the pandemic hit. Now they are very successful. Like people are looking for them on during caravans. So we would like to, if you're starting, if you're a business that you wanted to start, don't hesitate to reach out to me, or especially to Nika, who are our head for caravans for TPLP. And I was browsing down the comments. Miss Dina, shout out to you for helping us get safe and also giving us customized masks. So thank you, Miss Dina, and also to Pilar and Ace for always supporting TPLP Sari Sari, and they're also big supporters for so-called Filipinos. So in terms of 2022, continue the passion or the mission to help others. And in terms of myself, same thing with you guys. I think um, last year, pretty much my full year as a businessman, as a realtor. So I'm kind of like new to all this dynamic, but I'm learning really quickly from a lot of mentors, including you guys. But um, sometimes when you do business, you do get to split your time between yourself and family. So for me, 2022, my wife is watching. It's recorded. I wanna spend more time with the family as much as you can. If it's too much, show this video and tell me, hey, you said you're gonna spend more time with us. Um, so in that case, if you're a realtor, just reach out to me if you need clients. I don't mind hesitating referring clients to you guys, so that I will allow me to spend time with the family. That's pretty much main goal, and obviously continue if continue to help others. Like for example, I'm super blessed last year. I mean, I never thought that I could help 8 families get to their new homes, or this one. This is actually not as a promotion. This is just a sentimental value. Last year I only have one listing, and this is the very first one. But this is a referred. I wasn't really doing any farming. I wasn't really doing anything to reach out for a listing. I was mostly focused on buyer's agent. I mean, but helping family get new homes. But this one was out of nowhere, so it's kind of special. So that's why it's in the wall. But again, if ever for 2022, it just the reason why I mentioned that, because of all the accomplishments last year, I was able to save up and help a lot of people back home and also here. So it's important that if God bless us with blessings, it's important to share. And I think that's something that Abby and John also does. So let's continue to support each other and help as much as we can. All right. I think, is there other questions that you want us to be answering? Let's see.
See, I gotta go in the chat to see which one, but okay, just a correction. The Clippers, we are actually SoCal Filipinos is co-hosting with Mix Entertainment, so that's pretty big. So I'm looking forward to the Clipper game, even though I bleed purple and gold.
Me too, right?
Yeah,
Me and Eric always talk about Lakers.
yes, but I'm looking forward to that Clipper game. I think it's versus the Utah Jazz, which has Utah. Jordan Clarkson is in the Utah Jazz, and he was a Laker, so
All right.
probably wear a a Jordan Clarkson jersey or something. Okay, all right. So I
So
think
yeah, we have 14 audience watching. So if you're watching this live, tell us what you want us to focus on our show. We may not get to them all, but at least we have ideas what you guys wanted. So if you don't mind sharing what your thoughts are, and obviously things to improve on. I already have a lot of things to improve on, including better lighting, better mic. This is actually a
Is
karaoke.
that for karaoke?
Yeah,
That's a
so
karaoke
sorry.
mic. I don't know if that's gonna work for us
That's why my
the
for
voice is
magic
like
the
this.
mic.
I've
live
been
stream.
practicing.
Ah,
Anyway, since you guys are watching, if you want to sponsor a mic, I'll have a mic in front of me with your logo on top of it. So if any vendor, small business wants to sponsor a mic, you'll be very lucky. You'll be in front of the show. And and again, I wanna thank Mr. John Pabala and Abby and Jason for this opportunity, for always thinking of Sari Sari as part of your family. In behalf of Sari Sari, this is quite an honor, and we hope not to let you guys down.
Hey, you
and
already have a sponsor.
yeah, it looks
Like,
like someone already wants to sponsor you. And actually, I just want to thank Giuseppe and also Abby for joining the SoCal Filipinos team. Really appreciate that you guys joined our team, and I feel like with individuals like you, we could pretty much propel SoCal Filipinos into like many different avenues and make an impact to our kababayans. Thank you so
yes,
much for the
definitely.
both
Yes,
of you.
and before I know we're 49 minutes. Our target is 1 hour, so we have 10 minutes. Um, So before I forget, I just want to mention, and I know it's not. I mean, it's important to me about 1 in 3 out. Our friend Jeffrey is also our so-called Filipino ambassador, and also which I met through so-called Filipinos. So Jeffrey,
He's doing
keep
great
up
work.
the good work and helping our kababayans back home. I met him personally, and he has a big heart. Also to Miss Madeline Renas for Jolly Box. Uh, Keep up the strong work, and thank you for being inspiration and helping others. And they will be posting events that they'll be supporting. So if you have an opportunity to help out and support, I thank you. And
Yeah.
and how about you, John? Do you want anybody
Yeah.
to thank? I think I already thanked my wife multiple times, and
Yeah.
Mika and
Just.
everybody.
So just want to piggyback on that. Yeah, if you guys are supporting 1 in 3 out and Jolly Box, you guys are really supporting our kababayans in the Philippines. So to those that have supported them in the past, thank you very much. And actually, 1 in 3 out has been a bridge for SoCal Filipinos to directly help our kababayans in the Philippines. We've been sponsoring a box uh, every month since I think yeah, first heard of him, and he's doing great work, and he would have like the video to prove, to show, what's going on. He doesn't just distribute the clothes, he also gives the people meals, so which is kind of like, oh wow, I didn't expect that. And through his distribution, he's going um above and beyond to, I felt like, than what he needs to.
How about you,
We should
Abby?
have them on one of the episodes.
We should have them. That'd be a great
Yeah,
great
I
individuals to
think I
have.
give him a heads up that we would like to have them in this episode. So we're looking forward to it. And also, Abby, how about you? There anybody to thank before we end our show?
I wanted to thank Giuseppe. No, I wanted to thank you because I know that I really love how you're so humble and you're always so selfless and you think about other people. Because I know that's what how you got into real estate is first you're a nurse, and being a nurse, you have to give a lot of yourself. And being in real estate, you also have to come in with the intent to help other people, and that's great to see that you're doing it altruistically, like from the bottom of your heart. You really want to help others and help others get a home, because that's that's why I got into real estate. Like, I love helping people, and I love seeing that, that's why you do it, and not really like to be top dog, or like, oh, I mean, I'm the top agent for my group. This, like, all those things, those are great, but they're temporary. But the help that you give other people, I mean, that's permanent. You're getting them a home, and you're helping them from the bottom of your heart. So thank you for being a good representation for realtors.
Same
So
with you, Miss Abby. I think I could. Your heart is where I think I meant. You're also an inspiration in my end, because you are a CEO. You have a very humble. You actually reach out to me and say, "Hey, if you need anything, I'm here for you." So I mean, even though we're different brokerage, you are very very welcoming, and not just to me, to other realtors, to John. So I'm not quite surprised that you are very successful, and even the comment box is all good job, Abby. Abby's firing. So that's
it's a
that's
lot of
not
my
surprising at
clients.
all. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, this is actually because in terms of realtor, like yeah, giving them the keys, opening up the champagne, that to me is enough. And the commission, I mean, that's why when I do offer, like if I'm their agent, I actually give back their commission, I mean my commission back to them, because I think I gave a total of 12,000. It's like one whole commission back, because not the money is a blessing, and that's an opportunity to share with the people that need it. But at the same time, being a realtor is it's I didn't expect this, because growing up I never really thought I would be a realtor. It's just like one thing after the other. I mean, a lot of people watching probably have the same, like, oh, how I become the person I am today. But I think God has a reason, and if God give you a gift, then you just want to maximize it and help as much as you can, and be grateful. And again, just follow what Abby and John does. Max help each other, and just you never know, like someone in the future will will also try to do the same thing. So it's gonna like a pay it forward. So so thank you, and we hope to continue to inspire others. And again, if you have any topics or ideas for us to feature in Kababayan Corner, let us know. And any critique, I'm way open to it. Again, if you don't see me next
You
week,
did awesome,
You
Giuseppe.
did
no, if
great.
you
You
don't
did
see me
great
next week,
today.
there's a reason. It's been a pleasure, though. I mean, this first episode is amazing.
No,
I
you're
also,
great, man.
I also wanted to thank John, Eric, and John, Eric. So, do you go by Eric or do you go by John? Because I call you Eric, but
I go by Eric.
Eric. Okay, so I want to thank Eric and Jason for giving us this platform and for wanting to help showcase other businesses and members with side hustles. I mean, I think it's really important that they have a platform to show their business and to demonstrate what they did. And so I just want to thank you guys for that, for letting us use SoCal Filipinos and also Sorry Sorry Store to promote small businesses.
Okay, and I
Uh,
think yeah, and just we're all thankful all around, and I feel like we have a pretty good group, of team behind SoCal Filipinos. Really, we all collectively core. We want to help the community. There's really no like individual accolades that we want to do with the group, but it's more on really community based. And thank you
Yes.
guys for
yeah, I'm
also
looking
seeing our vision.
since since we have 4 minutes, I'm looking out to the comments see if we missed anything. So I think a lot of comments is all about Abby and also Jason with our promotion for Clippers. Don't forget, we will be there. I think half of our admins and moderators or ambassadors will be watching that game.
Mhm.
USC game. You'll be there too, John, by any chance?
Oh, that's around the time frame my wife is gonna give birth, so
Oh
it's
yeah,
pretty.
I'll be
It's pretty.
there. I think because it's
'Cause
I might
USC is
not.
I'm a
actually work.
Bruin, so I don't know.
I'm a
You're right.
Trojan, so that's where I work as a nurse currently. So I need to represent, and also shout out to Pogi, Pilar of QRP, Dina. I know you have other.
Hi,
Uh,
Dina.
Hi, Dina. Thank you for your mass. I know your time is precious, so for spending your time with us, it's we appreciate it. So we hope you enjoyed this first episode, and don't worry, we'll continue to improve and get better and get more interesting topics. And we love feedbacks. And the more you tell us what to change or what to talk about, we're all ears. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I think any last words, Abby?
No, I think
No,
Giuseppe said it. Well,
I know I did say it.
I think Giuseppe. So Giuseppe, are you gonna be here next week? Are you gonna be on the episode next week?
Thanks, Abby. But I do have a commitment next week that but don't worry.
So
If
after
I'm not
that,
be able, yeah, there'll be amazing replacements for me, and that's more qualified. That doesn't have any bloopers and doesn't turn off their camera in the middle of the show. So don't worry about it, guys. And maybe you have better ratings without me. So I'm here to
I don't think
support.
so. No, we love having you. I think you're awesome.
No,
So you
thank you. I
gotta come
appreciate
back
it.
every week.
Coming from you guys, that means a lot. So don't worry though. I mean, I'm writing down notes. We'll look at the replay and hey, Giuseppe, stop saying. Don't be nervous and just do what John does. Smile and just be camera ready all the time. And like Abby too.
All
All right,
right.
guys.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Everyone
you,
that tuned in,
everybody.
appreciate it. And see you guys in the Facebook groups, SoCal Filipinos and Southern California Sari Sari Store group. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.